No matter what professional sports league you happen to watch or play in, there are some pretty strong similarities at times. One of the unfortunate similarities is players cheating on their wives due to the traveling lifestyle that they live. In today's video, we're going to be talking about a bunch of players who apparently cheated on their wives. Some were caught by their significant other and remained together, while others immediately split apart to go their separate ways. Then there were even some others who decided it was actually okay to cheat as long as they did it periodically, I guess. It's a lot of information to get into, so let's just hop right into it with the first player on our list. Also, be sure to stick around until the end of the video because we've got a really surprising name saved for last that you won't want to miss. Let's start this video off with Matt Barnes. Barnes was able to get into the league back in 2004 and even won a championship with the Golden State Warriors in the final year of his playing career. He's now known for a pretty popular podcast that he does as well. Though that success didn't stop him from cheating on his wife, who actually caught him cheating with another girl. The two remained together though, as it was later revealed that she was cheating herself at numerous times during their relationship, including a bodyguard that was introduced to Barnes at one point. I guess these two were just made for each other. Next up is Charles Barkley. The lovable TV sensation had some hiccups in his marriage back in his playing days. He's been married to Maureen Blumhardt since the year 1989, but had apparently cheated on her numerous times. The most apparent was back in 2008 when he was caught by police trying to pay a San Antonio stripper money so that she would come back to his hotel room. You can't really get any more caught than what happened to Barkley right there. And maybe that's why he still doesn't like San Antonio women? I don't know, that take seems to make a little bit more sense. Moving on to Daniel Gibson. Gibson isn't really the best known player in the league. After all, he played just 6 seasons with the Cavaliers and barely got himself any playing time. He got married to a singer named Keisha Cole, but he clearly didn't love her like she loved him during that short marriage. They got divorced not too long after she caught him cheating on her with a stripper. But it gets even worse. She saw that he was texting another woman about another affair he was having at the time. Cole decided to expose those text messages to the world to show just how much of a cheater Gibson was. Now we're moving on to Raymond Felton. Felton was a surprising addition to this list. Many of you may know him from his time with Oklahoma City, though he played for a few other squads as well throughout his career. He married a lawyer named Ariane Raimondo, but the two lasted just 19 months before separating. Why, you might ask? Well, that would be because the two had gotten into a huge argument on Valentine's Day about Felton's numerous other girls who he was seeing at the time they were married. Not only did Raimondo file for divorce after that fight, she turned in a semi-automatic weapon to the police and claimed Felton threatened her with it. Felton had to turn himself in because of that soon after. And here's a little takeaway from Felton's story, guys. It's probably not the best idea to go around cheating on a lawyer. Now, this next one really came as a shock to me, and that's Dwyane Wade. Wade has long been known to be a devoted husband and father to Gabrielle Union, and has had incredible success in the NBA that, of course, we all know about. However, Wade had some issues that are still lurking around in the background of his life. Union had caught Wade having an affair with another woman who'd actually gotten pregnant because of the fling and gave birth to her son, Xavier. Now, that woman had opened up about whose child Xavier was, but Union repeatedly denies any claims that the kid could possibly be her husband's. Now we get to one that's a little weirder than others, but still technically cheating, I guess, nonetheless. Andrei Kirilenko, the 24th overall pick in the 1999 NBA draft, cheated on his wife numerous times throughout their 20-year marriage with multiple kids. Although the catch here is that his wife encourages him to have affairs. She believes that with the basketball lifestyle that Kirilenko already lives, cheating is just gonna eventually happen. The only rule that she gives him is that he can only have one fling per year. Any more than that would cause some serious issues. Moving on to Tony Parker. Somehow, Parker wasn't happy enough with his beautiful wife, Eva Longoria, so he went and cheated on her. The NBA champion apparently left his phone open, and Eva chose to take a look and see what was going on. And she found numerous women texting him, and it seemed like he was having multiple affairs. One of the biggest affairs he was having was with Erin Berry. And it's hard to believe this one, but Erin Berry was the wife of Parker's teammate in San Antonio at the time, Brent Berry. Not only is it cold to cheat on your significant other, but to go ahead and do it with a friend's wife, dude, that's seriously messed up. Lamar Odom is next up on the list here. He was openly married to Khloe Kardashian and was even on the hit reality television show Keeping Up with the Kardashians. Odom won a couple championships with the Los Angeles Lakers, but there were some serious relationship issues between the two that went beyond his on-court success. Lamar was going through a bit of a drug-related issue at one point, and Khloe began to get that feeling that he was cheating on her but wouldn't ever admit to it. The issues grew so bad that Khloe literally hired a private investigator to follow Odom around for a while. And during that time, the investigator found proof and witnessed Lamar cheating on her with not just one, but 5 different women in just a short amount of time. Now, you might have heard of the next guy on our list. His name's Paul George. He's kind of well known around the NBA. George has been in the news quite a lot lately, but his cheating story is one that should be around a little more often. He was married to Doc Rivers' daughter, Callie, but cheated on her and broke the marriage up shortly after. And you guys want to know how she found out he was cheating? Well, apparently George slept with a stripper during a yacht party and accidentally got her pregnant that night. Once the child came into play, Callie eventually caught wind of it, and that was when everything fell apart between them. George had a pretty ruthless reaction to the news himself, offering the woman over $1 million so that she would get an abortion. If I remember right though, she chose not to take that money and instead carried out the pregnancy. Hey, make sure you guys stick around until the end of the video because we've got a wild name saved for last, so you don't want to miss that one. But first we'll move on to Stephon Marbury. Now, this story is pretty rough, even to this video's standards of cheating NBA players. Marbury cheated on his wife Tasha multiple times, but not with just any woman he could find, but the family chef who worked in their home. Not only that, but the two apparently slept together in the same house, the one where not only his wife lived, but his kids too. It later came out that the chef was only sleeping with him at first because she thought it was part of her job there with the family. Marbury was paying her extra to keep the affair a secret too. Things started to break apart for him though when he decided to stop paying her, and the chef outed him for everything that was going on and even admitted to being paid nearly $1 million for the fling. Okay, another surprising one up next, Michael Jordan. The father of 3 and now divorced husband cheated on his wife Juanita Vanoy. The two had to undergo a rough court process in order to get divorced, a process that wound up costing Jordan roughly $168 million in a settlement. Juanita said that Jordan had cheated on her for years before she finally just had enough. The biggest of his mistresses was Carla Nafel, who was given $5 million in order to keep their affair between just the two of them. He was dishing out some serious cash just to keep this all hidden away, and even then, it wound up costing him far more. Next on the list, we've got Shaquille O'Neal, the Big Diesel himself. The widely popular sports analyst and NBA Hall of Famer is known for being a great person, but he has had some issues with infidelity over his lifetime. Back in 2003, when Kobe Bryant was battling out a court case that we'll talk about in a minute, he admitted that he had to pay off the girls in the same way that Shaq was doing it. Now, if that wasn't enough proof that something was going on behind the scenes, Shaq actually admitted that he cheated on his ex-wife. However, he continued by saying that he did so in a, quote, respectful manner, because why would anybody cheat on their significant other in a disrespectful way, right? At least he's honest about it now and isn't together with the woman anymore. I think this would have blown up way more under those circumstances. And speaking of that Kobe court case, this is probably one of the most unresolved and inconclusive situations we have on this list. Kobe was charged with sexually assaulting a hotel employee back in 2003, a court decision that got settled outside of the courtroom. The issue did have lasting effects on his marriage, with Vanessa filing for divorce and even getting a mansion, among other things, in the settlement. After a little over a year passed by, they ended up getting back together and they seemed incredibly happy as they raised their children. Finally, we come to the last player on our list, and man, is this one a doozy. As hard as this one might be to believe, it's been floating around there for quite some time. LeBron James happens to be on this list. Yep, the same player that has a few kids and is a loving and devoted husband to his wife Savannah. Now, there's absolutely zero evidence to back this up, and the two are very much still together, but rumors have not stopped swirling for some time. A few months after their wedding all those years ago, James was seen hitting on other women and was caught by an NBC associate producer. James was later linked to a couple of models named Nina Agdel and Carmen Ortega, though again, there was nothing confirmed about these allegations, nor was there visual evidence of cheating. It's just something that continuously floats around, and it's still somewhat linked to him to this day. Maybe there really is something there, or it could just be nothing and ugly rumors. Either way, it's a pretty interesting story nonetheless. If you enjoyed this video, then make sure to check out another one of our videos on the right-hand side or down below, depending what device you're using to watch. But don't click anyone else's videos unless it's from the channel Rebound. Now, those videos are pretty cool, but besides that, only click on the videos we made because we're sure you're gonna love them.